and welcome to the Post-Commission Wrap. Marc Fein alongside Commissioner Steve Glassman from District 2. Appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure, Mark. Thank you.
The September 21st meeting was a doozy, a lot covered, but one item really dwarfed the rest, and that was the one-stop shop item. If you're not familiar with the one-stop shop, it's a piece of property just a stone's throw away from us over here. And look, this has been drawn out in the media quite a bit, social media quite a bit, a lot of input. We had a full house here tonight with people wanting to comment on it. It comes down to, should we have a developer develop this land and put in kind of an entertainment district type facility, or should it just be a park? Tell the folks at home what transpired today and how you think it went.
Sure. Well, you know, it's interesting you put it that way, because I think you can actually have the best of both worlds.
Right.
I think you can have some entertainment activation on the site and a park. And that's what I've been working towards with the input from the neighborhood and those in the city. That's a 3.3 acre site diagonally across the street from us at City Hall. For many years it was the original City Hall, then it was the one-stop shop site. That's how people know it as the one-stop shop site. Our building department was there. Building fell into disrepair. We had it demolished. And now the question is, what do we do with it? So we had an unsolicited proposal come forward for a cultural center, a food hall, and also preserving about 2/3 of the site as park space, open space. That was one of actually my requirements when I first met with the proponents of the project. We've gotten that to increase to about 78% green space, open space. We've shrunk the cultural center, although we've added a lot more of a public input into it, because we will now be offering our local artists, our arts organizations, a place to do their art, whether it's an exhibit or a dance recital or a chamber music event, something like that. And then the food hall concept is really interesting, something we don't have in Fort Lauderdale, where you see amazing displays of fish and cheese and meats and vegetables and fruits. And that coupled with a restaurant also on the first floor. And then the rest of the site, 78%, as I said, open space, to be designed with the neighborhood before it goes through our development review process. So it's a project that I've actually been involved with now for almost 3 years.
Right.
Lots of discussion, lots of passion on both sides of the issue on whether we should keep it as an open park, whether the city should develop it as a park, or whether we should let a private entity develop the site for us at no cost to the city, and then even gaining revenue every single year on the site. So those are the questions.
And I think it's important to point out, you talked about the process and how long it's been. A number of things came up tonight about how many changes have been made. You have listened to feedback from people. You did away with a parking garage. There is more green space. So you are trying to accommodate as many people as you can with this.
Without a doubt. The input has been tremendous. And as I showed tonight, a stack of papers, of notes, of changes to the comprehensive agreement with the proponent of the project that show all of the changes, all for the good, all with the input from the neighborhood and the whole city, because even though this is within Flagler Village, it still is going to be a site that the entire city can use and enjoy and have access to. So the input continues, and that will go on for quite a while as this project goes through the development process. If the City Commission decides at an upcoming meeting, yes, we're moving forward, then that triggers the entire development review process, Planning and Zoning, City Commission, again, public input every step of the way.
All right, at the risk of going over material we've even already covered in this couple of minutes here, I do want to say this though, or play devil's advocate a little bit. For the people who say this should just be a park, what do you say to them?
Well, here you go. 3.3 acres in an area right downtown, just a passive park, is not exactly what all of the studies have shown that we should have there. By that I mean we had a ULI, the Urban Land Institute, come to town. Our own Downtown Development Authority, the DDA, have all opined that we should have an activated, managed site. So that means a mixed-use site. And actually, interestingly enough, that site is actually zoned mixed use. So it's not zoned a park. Right. If it was just a park, then this this proponent would not be developing it as such, and then the entire cost would fall on the city in terms of creating the park, because it's not now, and then also maintaining and operating. The city will incur none of those costs if we move forward with this proposed project.
Which could be a big savings for residents.
I would say at least $5 million, and then you're talking about not getting the $1 million revenue over the 50 years of the license for them to manage the site, so that's at least another good $50 million. So that's a lot of money.
All right, and finally, I just want to be clear on this. Again, when we talk about these things at commission meetings, shovels are not going in the ground tomorrow. No. The city manager asked for direction from the commission, and you told him, come back to us with a plan, right?
Exactly. We have cleaned up language. Personally, I not only have increased the green space, because this is in my district, so I've been really closely working with the proponent and the neighborhood and other city folks on this, lots of stakeholders. So yes, we've told them how we want to see the revenue structure. We've told them how we want to see payment in lieu of taxes to the city. We want to see the local artists use the site. And there's just a lot more that now has to be refined. So that will be in the hands of our city auditor to look at the business model, to look at the financial plan, to make sure it's solvent, and then also the city attorney and the city manager will negotiate with the proponent and come up with the best agreement that we can for the entire city.
I think anybody who would suggest that you all have not done your due diligence, whether they agree or not, if they paid any attention tonight, they would know that certainly you have. There's been a lot of work done on it.
Yes, a lot of work. I take it very seriously. I listen to all of the voices, and that's why we have continually changed the agreement for the better and the site plan for the better, and we'll still continue to do that as the process unfolds.
And so you know the time frame is 30 to 60 days. They will come back and to be continued. We'll be discussing this again after another commission meeting, no doubt. Yep. Commissioner, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mark. Thanks for having me.
As always, thank you for watching. We will see you after the next commission meeting. You can always look for more information on the city on our social media pages and get any information you need at our website, fortlauderdale.gov. We'll see you next time.
Good night.